displayed, and I'll add it to the website.
Alright, no problem. Sure. Just a video, so.
Those are the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi all, welcome to this week's episode of the theBobberyCast. This is the 8th episode, or the 9th, or the 10th, I don't know anymore. Don't blame me, as usual, we don't do any preparation for this, and today we actually wanted to have a real rock star here. And our first thought was, you know what, we are going to invite the co-founder of New Media Factory, nmfnetwork.tv, being Basti Artadi. But then we decided everyone knows him, and he is a dad, has kids, and he also was put on unforeseen parent duty. So we got the new rock star of animation online in the Philippines, being Gino Caparas of Stream Engine Studios.
Hey folks.
Hi Gino.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi Frankie. We're glad to be here. Too bad, Basti's not here, but next time.
We will get him another time.
Another time. Yeah.
When we run out of guests, we can always go and get Basti over to Beyond the Box, the folks who host us here with the podcast. Gino, Stream Engine Studios, mind explaining a little to the people who don't know it, what you do, what it is?
Alright, so Stream Engine Studios, we create animated explainer videos. So we animate stuff to explain what you guys do, or what a product does, or just a process that we can highlight. We've created a couple of videos. We started in January 2012. That was last year. We grew it. We grew the team from a one-man team to now we're currently a six-man team, and we've created some videos for clients locally here, and we actually also won an award a couple of months ago at a local animation festival. You can check out our website at streamenginestudios.com. Check out the videos. Really love it if you guys could check it out and watch it.
We will later also embed all the videos, or some of the videos. You started in January 2012.
2012, yeah.
1 year ago. Happy birthday.
Thank you. We're babies.
How did the idea start? Have you been doing video all the time, animation? Tell us a little about how it started.
Actually, I started off as a web designer. I never really knew how to animate until half of last year. And I just had to learn on the fly. I started off as more of a web e-commerce guy, and it just grew from there. We were checking out other ideas. First, we talked about putting up probably a UX and UI design firm, and we figured it's probably not, it's hard to differentiate with that kind of service. And right now, that's what we do. Video, we're more into the animation video, and most of our clients are corporate and also startups. We work with a lot of startups locally, and very active, very passionate about this, really always looking out to help other startups as well.
Going from web design to video.
Oh yeah, it's a completely different discipline. Of course, when you're on web design, when you're doing web design, everything's a bit more static. It's like laying out stuff for a magazine.
Yeah.
But for animation, of course, you have to think about how everything moves, how everything will look. I guess it's a good thing that I also dabbled in theater before. It's pretty much the same, except that the actors that you have, the stage that you have, the actors aren't live. You can pretty much do anything with that. You can create your own characters, and the stage isn't just one static area.
And the characters do what you want.
Exactly. So
they don't have an attitude.
They don't talk back, and if you love controlling people, yeah.
How did you make the jump? Like, if I talk from own experience, and somewhere it's on my old blog, I used to be one of those guys, and until really recently, like maybe until I walked in here today, because I have to defend the ID. So until recently, I really said the internet is for text. But like YouTube, especially here in the Philippines, we have seen platforms go totally pro, like Fiddler, Brightcove, which started as free hosting platforms. Now they are paid only. Brightcove is for corporate clients only with their prices. Like, the internet has changed.
Definitely.
Was that for you something that played, because you also said that in the first 6 months you didn't really animate yourself. Was it a future conscious decision that you said, I'm switching?
Definitely. We studied, the trends and how things are going, especially here in the Philippines. One of the trends we were actually looking out for was the rise of video and the increase in mobile and home bandwidth speeds, internet speeds. High-speed internet is a lot more accessible now here in the Philippines, and that also plays a factor in just watching videos. A lot of people watch videos on YouTube, and
the Philippines are the second biggest nation in YouTube.
Exactly. We love watching content online, and it's a new channel. It's a new way for you to experience, not just TV shows, not just animation stuff, but also documentaries. Can be as long as an hour or two, or it can be as short as 30 seconds, a minute, and that's where we come in. The videos that we do are shorter than a short film, but they're also longer than a TV commercial.
Yeah.
So that's how we differentiate to ourselves. Animated explainer videos.
Explainer videos. Explain.
Okay. Well, explainer videos explain. That's pretty much it. That's the long and short of it. And we focus really on the message of the video. Like, again, it answers the question, how do you do this? What is it about? And how can I subscribe? How can I sign up for that? So our tagline for the website, for the company actually, is better communication through animation. And we focus more on the communication aspect than the animation aspect. The animation really is just the icing on the cake. But the communication aspect, the message itself, is the most important thing. It has to answer the question, how do you do this? How do I sign up? And it's a great tool, a great marketing tool. It's a great tool really for businesses online.
It's interesting because if you think about it, you could, for example, create an animation video, an animation explainer about Twitter. Because you still have many people who say, I don't get it, and that is basically where Stream Engine comes in. You've recently worked for local companies like Galleon, Kickstart. You have produced videos basically explaining. So, and because it's longer than a TVC, you obviously have more opportunity. One of, I think, your most popular videos as well was the one how Stream Engine Studio creates an animation studio.
Of course, yeah. That was very cartoony. That video is actually one of my favorites. It's probably the first major project that we did. It started off with just a piece of paper, a piece of bond paper, and just scribbled stuff, and I told the guys, hey, do this. It started with just one drawing. It really starts off with one idea. And then we just grew the world. We just created the entire universe behind it. And again, it's rooted in the message. It's very important that we show what our creative process is, and it's in 5 steps. The kickoff meeting, the storyboard and the script writing, the production process, the revision process after the first draft is shown, and then finally, the most important one is the launch of the video.
Yeah. Do you think anime, especially explainer videos, are the future into, I would say tutorials, but like the mix between tutorials and documentaries? The reason why I ask is one of the guys I worked with, and I don't know, over the last years, I don't know if you know this site. I used to run Tutorial, which was a site about WordPress tutorials, originally started by Brian Clark and Chris Pearson of both of Copyblogger fame. Well, Chris Pearson, the designer who now runs Thesis for WordPress. And we did how-tos for WordPress, for users.
How were the videos like? Were they live?
Well, no, the videos were recorded. Like I'm talking, I don't know when the guys launched the site in 2006, how much time they spent, but we got one of the guys who afterwards, Michael Pink, who was afterwards hired by WordPress and built WordPress.tv, which also started with tutorials. But they also provide, which is less known, explainer videos to companies who select for WordPress as their intranet setup.
I see.
So like, and the idea back then was he would work for a small how-to video, maximum 10 minutes, which was still the YouTube limit back then. He would work up to 10 hours. We're speaking 2.4 gigahertz and 2 gigabyte maximum, no dual core in the MacBook Pro era.
I can imagine that. I can imagine.
So that was really slow, but there was a lot of traction. I think after a year the website had around 10,000 feed subscribers. Podcasting was back then still a buzzword in the Web 2.0 scene. And slowly but surely it has made its way to more shows like here at New Media Factory and everything. Online, of course, one of the things that have always been popular were how-tos, tutorials and everything. Do you think that explainer videos will slowly but surely replace that?
Of course, I don't think it's going to completely replace like very helpful like piece of or a manual. There are pros and cons to like explainer videos. For example, not everybody probably has the internet capacity to like just watch them, or maybe they really prefer text. Of course, it's a new way of presenting, and I think it's rooted really in our core needs to watch stuff and for people to show us, to make the tutorial a lot more personal. Now the videos make it a lot more personal because there's somebody talking to you. It's not like a piece of paper where you just read like, okay, do this, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, etc., and then you're done. Now, with a video, with a human voice actually talking to you, it guides you through every step of the process. And it doesn't just guide you with just a voice, you see something. Something is moving right in front of you. It's very dynamic, and again, one of our thrusts for the company, for our videos, is that it has to be fun, it has to be exciting, and at the same time, it also has to be very informative. So, definitely, it's probably not going to change the entire landscape, but it's going to improve it. Ever since, ever since centuries ago, we had theater for entertainment purposes, and at the same time, even teachers, we look at our teachers, they show us on the board how to do things. We're just transferring all that. It's really the basic stuff, the message, the lesson behind it, and we're just transferring it to the website. We're just transferring it online into your computer or iPad or phone. There you go.
What are your inspirations? What were your inspirations, especially video-based?
Well, inspirations. Well, as a kid, I've always loved cartoons. Until now, I love cartoons. I'm the kind of guy who watches SpongeBob. And
I thought you were going to say Ren and Stimpy, but maybe
that too.
that's obvious in the Kickstart video.
Actually, for the Kickstart video, this was it. The character that we made for it was also wearing a red cloud shirt.
Yeah.
When I presented that video to them, I was also wearing this shirt. So it's become more of a staple, I guess. But inspiration really comes from, I watch a lot of videos online. I watch a lot of the videos that even the explainer videos that other countries create, and it really started when I was a kid. I was addicted to anime. I was addicted to Dragon Ball, stuff like that, Walters 5, all those classics. And I figured, hey, it's my passion, so might as well translate it into something that I do like every day.
It's also a not so often explored niche to
Yes.
combine it with anime, yeah?
Yes.
And you guys make everything in-house, everything is self-made?
Yes, definitely. We have a team really dedicated for the videos that we create. All the ideas are created in-house, and I'm very proud of the stuff that we do.
As you should.
Thank you.
It said we can show the videos right now, but we'll
Unfortunately.
embed them on the website later. You started alone.
Yeah. Well, it was scary. I left my latest job like mid 2011, started 2012. It was a big leap of faith really for me. Of course, I didn't know like what was going to happen. Everybody was telling me like, of course, there's a chance that you might fail, but at the same time, hell no, I ain't gonna fail. I don't want to fail. Nobody does. But at the same time, I'm very scared. Just trudged through everything, learned on the fly. Not everything has been successful, but again, the learning is there. And whatever we learn, we also want to share it with everybody. And that's where we are now.
And now you're 6 people.
Yeah, and I really, really want to grow the team some more.
You have been entirely bootstrapped
Yes.
until now?
Until now. So
Bootstrapped, own investment, internal funding,
stuff. Yep. So
and client work.
Client work. Lots and lots of client work. But in between that, those clients, we also pump out some original stuff.
Yeah.
Like we also created some stuff for Christmas, New Year, even Mother's Day. Coming out with something this Valentine's Day, so watch out for that.
How's the creative process like?
It actually starts with me trying to think of stuff. Every time I meet a client, I also start pitching an idea to them. So again, it's a 5-step process. We start with a kickoff meeting. So I meet the client. It's very important that I face them. It's just I want to hear what they have to say in their own words. It's that, and from there we can just get whatever they also want to say. While they're telling me what they want to show in the video or what it is that they do, that's the cogs in my brain start turning. And then I just think of these crazy things. Okay, cartoons, logos, shapes, colors, all that stuff. So everything really starts with that. And then after that, that's where we get down to the details with the rest of the creative team. There's a script, there's a storyboard. We make sure everything is signed off, and that's when we start animating. After that, give it a week or two, and then we push something out. The very first draft, of course, we don't expect the first draft to be perfect, so there might be a bit of revisions here and there, hopefully minor ones, nothing too major. And then after that, we just launch.
How long does it usually take between Let's imagine the client. I've also dabbled a little in web design, so like the client isn't always a lovely one in the way of you. Often they have their own idea, and you have to really fight with them to say like, no, this doesn't work. But like on average, between clients meet you first time, they pitch their idea, the company, you already have agreed on a price. How long does it take?
It really depends on the complexity of the project, but most of the projects that we've done, they're done in like just a month, just around 4 weeks. I think the average time for explainer videos would be around 4 to 6 weeks. So sometimes we finish everything in 3 to 4 weeks. We also have been able to finish some videos in a week or even a day, even just 1 day. So I like those projects. We finish in 1 day because everything's faster. We churn out stuff more. Of course, it's not just the speed that's important, it's also the quality. What's very, very important for me is the quality. So if it's shit, can I say that? Can I say that? Yeah. If it's crap, yeah, that's probably not gonna fly for me. So.
If it is and you don't say it, but you still release them, we will say it.
Oops. So there you go. So it's very important for me that even I enjoy the videos.
So clients who come to you, they have, on average, they have to count like 6 to 8 weeks in their scheme.
Yeah, it really depends also on their response time. So again, it's very important. What's very important during the entire project phase would be the collaboration between us. Everything has to be very open. I'm also very open, I'm not as formal to them. It's very important that they communicate what they need and what they want to see.
Well, one of the things we often see in online video, especially if it's like an extra, and there has been an evolution, is the viral factor. And I don't know if you've worked with agencies and everything, but generally there are many people who know what works online. And does that play a role? Obviously, Stream Engine Studios works for clients and everyone wants the video to be seen as often as possible. But when you're scripting, storyboarding, do you think we gotta make sure that we do this or this because these are elements that may add a bonus to the video for virality?
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me about, can we make the video viral? Now, it's very hard to answer that actually because you never know what's gonna go viral. I mean, you never know. Like, nobody ever probably thought that Psy with Gangnam Style would go viral and stuff, but it's very hard to answer that. But for me, I think virality also depends on the context and the timeliness of the execution. Now that also depends on, having a viral video might be very, it really depends on the time right now. So, what's important for me is that the message and the video is timeless, regardless of when it is shown, regardless of the year or the date. So, maybe viral videos, they're very, very hard to engineer. But at the same time, if something that we do does go viral and does go worldwide, then that would be super awesome. I mean, I can't imagine that right now. But ultimately, of course, I'd want a lot of people to really watch our videos. Not just here in the Philippines, but also all over the world.
It's also because I think explainer videos, but I think it's important that the clients know what they get.
Yes, exactly.
Like you could, of course, everyone could script, and we have all seen them, I assume. There are videos where you watch them and you say like, yeah, they really try to make this viral and it's so over-engineered it won't work. Because they've put all all tricks in the book.
Yes.
It's like sometimes I see campaigns where with an extra video which is supposed to go viral, and I really think like it's the keyword spam of YouTube. It's what was before keyword spam on websites, like now the video for money has become. What you guys do is different. You add a story to a website, to a name, to a brand.
Exactly, and that's very important. The story. That's really what people will stick to. That's really what people will remember. Not just the user experience, but also the story behind it.
Yeah.
We're creating stories really not just for the company, but also for the users, the viewers of that video. Once they hear about that story, oh hey, this is awesome. I think I'd like to sign up with that company. So that's really the effect that we're trying to go for. It's very human actually. The stuff that we do, of course, it's all animation, cartoons and stuff, but the effect is still very human, still rooted in our experience.
How was the initial reaction when you started promoting Stream Engine Studios anime concept? How did people think?
Okay, I'm gonna start with my mom. Well, my mom just said, "Why are you doing this?" But of course, every time I say, yeah, I run an animation studio, and they're like, oh yeah, that's so awesome. Can I see the stuff that you do? So I'm always with my laptop. I just show the videos and the effect that the videos have on them. You know, I like seeing the smiles on their faces. Some of the videos actually, for example, there's one video that we made. The client was telling me that, you know, even the old folks, the grandmas, would dance to the music. So I found that really funny, just the image of that.
Do you create the music yourself as well?
No, right now it's either we get stock music or we collaborate with a composer, a friend of ours.
You say that people said grandmother would dance to it, but do you think personally we're a total new generation? Like our generation now, it's totally fine if you're 35 and you say I play video games. Exactly. If my dad would say that, like, okay, like that's the wrong answer because we had the Magnavox. So like yes, he was a nerd, he played video games, but like 20 years ago, if a guy who was 40 would say that, everyone would look at him like, seriously? And you just admitted that in public? Like nowadays, it's totally fine to say, like, I think the biggest demographic watching The Simpsons are adults.
Exactly.
And other shows,
like
is that a bonus for you?
Definitely.
Does that make the landscape easier?
Oh yes, definitely. Times are changing, definitely. People are a lot more open, and I think we have to thank really the guys who came before us, those who really pioneered even the animation industry or the video game industry. Folks who worked at the old Warner Brothers, Merry Melodies, Bugs Bunny cartoons. You know, of course they started off with entertainment, but you know, even Pixar, for example, I love that. I love the stuff that they do. They really elevated that. It's not just entertainment anymore, but also it's got a story. It's got a soul to it. It's got a heart to it.
I like that you mentioned Pixar and go also back to the old days. Obviously, not obviously, but I myself, I'm a big Tex Avery fan. But when I see Pixar and when the news came that several years ago, Walt Disney had bought Pixar. My first reaction was like, yeah, it's obvious. It had to happen because Pixar is so much more old school himself, Walt Disney moralizing, often cruel, like Toy Story 3, that it's not really for kids.
It's not like, just for kids, but it's also, you know...
a kid could watch it, but there's a true adult story, and like Walt Disney has been branded for being racist and everything. Like, I think back then TV was more exclusive video, so it was obvious for the adults, but are we in a recurring circle with anime?
I don't think we're going full circle yet, but let's see. Right now, things are a lot different. That's pretty much what I can say. It's not really, we're not really going back to the previous times really, but it's that we've really refined it. We've really refined the art, the process behind it. So, you know, it's really a refinement of the stuff that we've done before.
And the professional studios are coming closer to real life quality
Exactly.
almost. If you look at Brave, the faces in are brilliant.
In terms of technical stuff, Pixar is probably, you know, far and away the leader. Disney, Pixar, but you know, for example, for us at Stream Engine Studios, we don't have to aspire for like the 3D polish of the Pixar movies. We'd rather focus more on the 2D, the two-dimensional videos that we do, as compared to like 3D. A lot of people, actually, a lot of young folks, for example, are very interested in 3D. Now, you know, of course, we can also do that, but for me, I just said to the guys, I just told myself, like, you know, let's focus more on 2 dimensions. There's already so much that you can say, already so much that you can do, and there's a great story that can be told even with just 2 dimensions. Everything's flat, but you know, there's still a lot of heart behind that short clip that we do. So ultimately, you know, we also want to create our own original stuff. Pixar again is probably our not target, but what's the word?
Idol?
Idols, yes, our peg for it. And the stuff that they do really, you know, just really amazes me.
When do you think the online switch to video happened, and then even more animation, explainer videos and everything? Is this a really new thing? Do you think we have barely touched it? It is not a market yet, except for some pioneers?
I guess a couple of years ago, there are some companies that started this trend with the explainer videos, but it's still growing. We're still really refining the entire industry. We're still trying to differentiate ourselves, of course. You know, when, for example, locally, when I tell people that we're an animation studio, they automatically think that we're probably doing shows, like My Little Pony or an anime show. It's hard to explain that, for example, again to my mom. Like, we don't really do TV commercials. We don't really do like TV shows as well. But you know, things are really.
But of course, if a company would say like, I want a Stream Engine studio video,
why not?
As TVC, like, what do you think? Times 10 quote, and here you go. Why not?
Why not, right? So we're completely open to, you know, all those possibilities as well. Of course, things are getting better, not just for Stream Engine Studios, but also for the local industry.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. 2013 is a huge, huge year.
What do you think is the demographic for explainer videos? I personally, I remember the first one that really caught my eye, and I think was also like the pioneer for websites, was the sketch video. Although it was more kind of a trailer, it was brilliantly animated. It was the idea of how sketch works, just as a teaser, hadn't launched yet. And I think that was 2007, 2008. That's really the first time that I remember that someone used it. Of course, the internet has changed also thanks to the iPad, and we have more and more people, 1-2 generations older than us, using it. And I would tend to believe that elderly people, despite it being animation, may actually be an awesome demographic
Actually,
for
they
you.
are. You know, sometimes, for example, old folks, they've been working, for example, for a long time in companies, but when they see the cartoons, they're like, oh wow, just the inner child comes out. It's also a very good demographic, actually, like you mentioned. Again, it's really tapping into the human condition and the inner child in them. I mean, everybody has gone through that phase. You know,
And of course, your explainer videos, as you said, better communication, the tagline. The great thing is, they take out all the clutter of the website, and in a minute or 80 seconds, you explain what happens.
Exactly. Again, it's more matter, less art. Shakespeare. I forgot which play that was, but you know, we really get down to the meat of it, just a minute or two. So you know, we just communicate really the most important stuff for the clients, for the viewers, for anybody who watches the videos.
I think Stream Engine Studios, second half of 2012, you guys, especially even more so towards the end, you started to become one of the revelations of the Philippine startup scene.
Yeah, everything just started snowballing.
And when I created the class of 2012, I really was thinking like Stream Engine Studios, I want to add them, but like I'm not sure.
We're probably not there yet.
It's short. To be honest, I gotta admit selfishly that I really thought like, this is the first time we do it. theBobbery has not published so much content yet. That class of 2012 was always a concept of mine, an idea. But one of the things was like, I actually selected startups which had been a little older already. Like, InSync was first promoted on VentureBeat, TechCrunch, I think around 2009.
I see.
Already, so I kind of decided to fall back because I wanted also to avoid that if the site would go bigger and more popular in 2013, that the interesting startups which had become bigger and more viral, that I had already mentioned them because I don't want to recycle a list. So I really thought like there are some startups I wanted to mention, and I cannot say who, otherwise the class of 2013 is known. But I really thought like, nah, I'm keeping you guys for probably next year.
Yeah, no problem.
What do you think happened in 2012? Like in the local startup scene, it's very bubbly, it's thriving. We have international eyes looking at us. What do you think happened? Did it contribute for you guys? Did it make it easier to find clients?
Yeah, I think it was just perfect mix of opportunities, and you know, again, I'm very active with the community, always there for events. You know, just really trying to meet with new people, new startups, and I guess what happened there was, of course, we started early in the year. I didn't know a lot of things, but as we learned more things about the industry, I think everybody also learned at the same time. So if one startup was learning, we were also learning. It was an exchange of ideas, and then everybody just started contributing to all of that. And you know, this is where we are right now. We're in a great spot here in the local startup scene. For us, one of the things probably that is different about us is we're not exactly a tech startup as well. Most of the startups here, most of the featured startups are, you know, more on the tech side. But I'd like to think Stream Engine Studios is more on the design side. So that's also one of the things that I would like to really promote and push for the local industry. You know, when people say startup, they automatically think like Twitter, you know, techie stuff. Developers, geeks that started, but you know, what about the creative folks? So
there is a big lack in communication or in interaction. We had it In one of the first episodes we had Ia Lucero here, and also because from Philippine Web Designer Organization. One of the reasons why we asked her, invited her, was because there is this lack of interaction. It's like totally different aisles, but at the end of the day, it's very much, if we go back to 2005, everyone would throw them all in one bucket, being the Web 2.0 bucket.
Exactly.
And like here in the Philippines, we really have that diversification between there's a group here, there's a group there, there's groups everywhere, and like everyone was on their own.
Exactly, and that's the question. Why does everybody have to be on their own? Let's just all come together, share the love, and just, progress really as one giant scene, one giant group. And we're here really to help out each other, and that's what we try to do for Stream Engine Studios. We're here to help other startups as well. So other startups might need some help with their designs or their communication strategy or even the videos we do. So we're here really to help, and very optimistic about it, very patriotic if you must. But it's really my dream to put the Philippines on the map, not just for the startup scene, but not just for the design scene, but also, ultimately the animation scene. I really believe in the talents of the Filipino people, not just the developers, not just the animators and the designers, all of us, really. So, why can't we be at the same level as, say, Japan or the US or...
And one of the great things is obviously you do it, and you do it for your own company.
I love doing what I do.
One of the things the Philippines always promote, we're the top of BPO, but at the end of the day, it's just like, yes, we will work for little money for you guys. When we come to money, it's something I would like to highlight as well, because you've got a big ideal with Stream Engine Studios, together with some other designers, people who run their own company in the design group as well.
Yes.
And one of your ideals has to do with wages.
Have we discussed that before?
It once came up in Facebook conversations.
I remember that. The local animation industry actually, it's not exactly the most lucrative industry there is. Some animators are still, paid, substandard rates, but of course, ultimately, I'd like to raise that profile. I'd like for the Filipino artist or the Filipino designer, animator, what have you, to really move away from the starving artist profile. Just because you're doing something that you're very passionate about, that doesn't mean that you have to starve, and that doesn't mean you have to suffer for it. Everything has to be, perfect, everything has to grow, and everything has to really progress. So from something that's, just really trying to move away from that.
Okay, we were just told we have 3 more minutes. What's next for Stream Engine Studios?
More clients, more projects, and more people for Stream Engine Studios, and a lot more people to watch our videos. We are coming up with a lot more videos, a lot more...
Any teasers?
Well...
Projects you cannot disclose, but we just slip into...
There will be a lot.
There will be a lot. Can we, after we've seen at the end of the year Ernest Su of Globe and the board members do Gangnam Style, can we see Globe do Stream Engine Style?
They will probably. Actually, we'll be sleepless in the coming months and weeks. So I'm gonna buy the rest of the guys here, like in the office, like 2 cans of Red Bull or something per week.
Per week?
Per week,
like 2 cans is enough, like for 4 hours between.
Fine. 2 cans per day or something.
I know people who fall asleep when they drink Red Bull.
I just had Red Bull a while ago, man.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Frankie.
For coming to Beyond the Box, who host us with the podcast. Good luck in 2013. We're looking forward to what you will do for clients, for Stream Engine Studios itself, and also how you will further continue to merge the different groups together. Thanks to the guys at New Media Factory, NMFnetwork.tv. Also watch their other videos. Mo, Good Times with Mo is live every day again, Monday to Friday, at 9 p.m. I think. And there is Live Love Lows, there is Counterflow, who will be live later on. And there's more shows, also with our favorite rock stars, Tirso Ripple and Basti. But they won't be today or tomorrow. Last pitch.
Yes.
Last 20 seconds.
Alright,
Go.
Stream Engine Studios, better communication through animation. If you need something explained in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, hey, we're the guys to come to approach. Visit our website at streamenginestudios.com or just look for me on Facebook, Gino Caparas.
Thanks, Gino. I'm out here.
Thank you so much. Woo!
Those guys in the background.